All right, we're going to get back to Michael Wooten's package shortly, but right now we're going to go to the city of Buffalo. They're having, here's Mayor Brown. Let's listen in.
Ronaldo, Public Works Commissioner Michael Finn, and Community Services Commissioner Otis T. Barker Sr. I want to just express my thanks to our two deputy mayors, Betsy Ball and Ellen Grant, and their work on these issues around the clock the last few days. Following designations by New York State and Erie County, which the city has been in very close contact with, effective immediately, I am declaring a state of emergency in the city of Buffalo until further notice. As many of you know and has been previously announced, there are 729 confirmed coronavirus cases in New York State, with 3 deaths in the state and 3 who have tested positive in Erie County, one of which is in the city of Buffalo. The state of emergency declaration will help city departments and partnering government agencies continue to do what is necessary to maintain public health and safety. Those efforts included a deep cleaning of public access points at city buildings and facilities over the weekend. I want to thank our cleaning crew who worked over the weekend, making sure that all public access points were deep cleaned. I want to emphasize that we are open for business. If you need to come to City Hall, you will be able to do so. But in order to prevent community spread of this disease, I strongly encourage you to call our departments first or to use our online services if possible. The observation deck has been closed and public tours are suspended at this time. Buffalo Public Schools are closed for students tomorrow. Faculty and staff are still reporting. I want to thank our school superintendent and his executive team, Dr. Kreiner Cash, for their thoroughness and the work that they have been doing on this issue. City-owned and operated senior centers, Richmond, Autumnwood, Broadway Market will be open with social distancing measures so we can continue to assist our older residents while we plan for a potential suspension of services. City community centers, Tosh Collins, Lincoln, McNeeka, Hennepin, JFK, and Schiller Park will also remain open at this time. However, senior services provided at Tosh Collins and Hennepin are canceled. Youth programming continues at these centers pending Buffalo Public School closure. We are responding to this situation and are in contact with other local, state, and federal health authorities and will continue to take precautions as needed. The governor and county executives' orders to limit capacity in bars and restaurants is important. The state liquor authority will charge the establishments that are failing to comply with these orders with violations of state liquor law that could subject them to penalties of up to $10,000 for repeat violations and including a loss of their liquor licenses. I want to repeat that. To bars and restaurants, there is a capacity limit that has been set by the governor of the state of New York. That capacity limit will be enforced. Those establishments that fail to comply with those capacity limits subject themselves to fines and potentially losing their liquor licenses. I urge residents to listen, to watch what health authorities are saying right now, Wash your hands correctly for at least 20 seconds using soap and water. Wash your hands often. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth with unwashed hands. Cover your mouth when sneezing or coughing into the inside of your elbow. Now, I want to say again that we have seen the last couple of days members of this community not taking this situation seriously. This is a serious health situation, and we're asking people to have the discipline to follow the directions about social distancing that you are receiving. This situation is dynamic and rapidly evolving, but my administration is ready to respond. We also are in communication with the Buffalo City Council, and this decision was presented to the leadership of the City Council. Now, for more information about COVID-19, I know that these numbers and this information has been out, but I want to repeat it again, including symptoms of the coronavirus. Visit the Erie County Health Department website at erie.gov/COVID-19 or call the State Health Department Health Hotline at 1-888-364-3065. While uncertainty surrounding COVID-19 can feel alarming, it is important to remember that fear should be and is contained by facts. Our City of Buffalo and Western New York community has been tested before, and no matter what, we know how to weather an emergency. I encourage residents to get the latest information on emergencies, public service announcements, or events via Buff Alert. Enroll by texting Join Buff Alert to 30890. Again, you can join Buff Alert by texting Join Buff Alert to 30890. This is how we will continue to keep our community safe, by staying calm, making smart decisions, and remaining united. We are, and we always will be, the city of good neighbors. Now we'll open up to whatever questions you all might have. Maki? I have no more information than what was announced by the county executive earlier today at his 11 a.m. news briefing. We are taking the actions that we're taking now. We've declared a state of emergency. We're encouraging our employees and others to follow the guidance on social distancing, but we know no more about the individual from Buffalo that has tested positive than has been announced earlier today. Yes. So there have been members of fire prevention that have been out, State Liquor Authority out, members of the Buffalo Police Department out with those agencies, state and city agencies. These orders will be enforced. They will be enforced vigorously. We are announcing today what the penalties are, and we are asking bar and restaurant owners to follow and comply with the limit to their establishments that the governor has imposed.
Mayor, could you say how many violations, how many establishments have been warned? You can talk a little bit more about enforcement.
I don't have that data at this time, but what people need to know what bar owners need to know, what people going to these establishments need to know, is by doing so in large numbers, they are putting themselves, they're putting family members, they're putting others at risk. We need people to comply. We need people to do the right thing. Yes, we can come in with a heavy hand and enforce these things, but we want people to do the right thing and comply with the guidance that has been given.
In the past, you have shut down bars, you have shut down restaurants for various issues. Why not this time around?
I'm not saying that that will not happen. That very well could happen if people do not comply, if businesses don't comply. What we also could see beyond what would happen at the local level, but at the state level, we could see establishments that don't comply actually losing their liquor license. That would be a tremendous, terrible penalty for doing the wrong thing that these businesses could face. So we're presenting the information. We're asking businesses to be responsible and do the right thing. We understand the impact that this is going to have on businesses. We understand that. And we sympathize with that. We don't want to shut places down. We don't want to see places lose their liquor licenses, but that will be the result if bars do not comply with the governor's ruling.
Couple more questions, Jim?
You said City Hall's open, does that mean council meetings wise, planning boards, all those things that go on?
Again, it's quickly evolving. We will be posting notifications. I know that some meetings have been canceled, particularly those meetings that were expected to attract large numbers of residents. Certainly, we will be meeting with our school superintendent. We will be meeting with council members. We will be meeting with the city controller, and there will be a more expansive publishing of things that will be canceled that take place in City Hall.
Mayor, for how long do you talk? Weeks?
Indefinitely.
Have you at all considered maybe a curfew for bars, restaurants? Because, and we all hear you in terms of, wanting people to do the right thing and orchestrate themselves accordingly, but it just seems like from last night and even today, it just seems like that word is, certainly not being followed. So why not take it a step further and actually have some?
I think people are hearing today, and thank you all very much for covering this, they're hearing the seriousness of the penalties. So there could be fines up to $10,000 levied by the state. There could be closure. There could be loss of liquor license. A business that loses its liquor license could be out of business for the duration, for the long haul. We are very hopeful that the businesses in this community receiving this information and hearing that these penalties are going to be enforced. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. These penalties will be enforced. We're hoping that they will do the right thing by themselves, by their patrons, and certainly by our community.
Question over here.
Mayor, can you just verify kind of the process? Can Buffalo Police actually, cite some of these bars that the state liquor authority have to be on site with police? People are confused on social media about the process.
So the state liquor authority certainly can cite, they can fine, they can revoke a liquor license. Fire prevention through our fire department can come in. They can also issue fines. They can work with the police to close establishments. So fines and closure can happen at the local level, and it can also happen at the state level. The penalties that can be brought by state officials, by the state liquor authority, are extremely serious, and we certainly want bar owners in Buffalo and throughout Erie County to know that.
Are you concerned about people lining up and basically hoarding food and toilet paper and weapons and tops or whatever?
Yeah, there's been a lot of discussion about that. The county executive discussed that earlier today, that there is no need to line up, to hoard food, to stockpile food. In some cases, some of the items that people are hoarding and stockpiling are making them scarce for individuals in the community that might need them more right now. One example of that the county executive gave earlier were wipes, where parents need those wipes for their young children, but there are some who are hoarding those items. So I would again emphasize the governor's message, the county executive's message. There's no need to hoard food items. There's no need to hoard cleaning supplies or water or toilet paper. No need to do that right now. I also want to again just emphasize what the governor has said, what the county executive has said. Social distancing is very important. It's one way to fight this disease. It's one way to stop the public spread of virus, and we need people to really observe that, to take this seriously, and to not mass gather in places.
One more, are we good? One more, Martin?
Could you address, I think a lot of people are concerned about poor communities within Buffalo, in terms of children and having access to food. A lot of poor people do not have a primary care physician, they're being told. Do you have any plans to help those communities?
Well, one of the things that we know about emergency situations, crisis situations, extra measures have to be taken to protect and safeguard the health of low-income residents. That's why we are keeping senior centers open. That's why, working with the school district, we are keeping youth centers open. I've been having daily calls with our school superintendent, Dr. Kreiner Cash. Superintendent Cash and his team are looking at all of these issues as well, recognizing that there are a number of children in our school district that depend on the nutrition program of the district. So the needs of low-income communities will be very much a part of the plan that we all go forward with collectively, the schools, the city, the administration, the council, the county. That will be very much a factor in our planning.
Similar to county executive, will you be asking the common council for any additional funds from the budget or anything like that to allocate to address this issue?
At this time, we're not asking for any additional funds in the budget. We will be working closely with the council on any needs that we might have for additional funds, but at this time, we are not asking for any additional funds.
One more?
Yeah, is there any information on on-street parking? Because as we know, schools are closed tomorrow. Theoretically, at home, is there any thinking or any information that will be released as to parking restrictions in the city?
The parking restrictions will still be in place. We're looking at waiving the emergency parking requirements. So, on bus routes and times and that type of thing. We'll put out guidance on that, but the alternate side of the street parking regulations will still be in effect.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.